Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you very much for joining me for today's video. So I'm super excited about this one because these are my brand new very first digital papers that are now available at CraftStash. Now I am really excited about this because if you've been following me for a while, you know how much I love my digital papers. I'm always using them. I've used them for years in my craft tutorials because you can craft out of season, so you can use your Christmas papers in March if you really wanted to. If you had a project you had to do, you can just literally just print everything off that you need. Okay, so we're going to start off with Holly Jolly Christmas paper. Now this is from 2022, so this is the latest Christmas papers. Now this paper pad has sold out in its physical form, but you can download it now in its digital format and use it as many times as you need to. As in, print out all your favourite ones. If you needed 5 of these ones, you can just do that. You're not limited. Okay, and I'll also be showing you, let me grab it. These are the papers that I use, and I'll link these down below as well. These are super high quality, very smooth cardstock for printing out really good prints. Okay, so this is 250 GSM as well, and I'll be giving you some hints and tips on the settings that I use for my printer as well. So this is the Holly Jolly Christmas paper. You will all remember this, okay, just from a couple of months ago. Okay, so moving on, we have the traditional Christmas. Now if you're with me from the very beginning, this was my very first paper pad that I did with Simply Made Crafts, and it's definitely one of my favorites. So when it sold out all those years ago, wasn't able to kind of craft with it and show it off anymore. But now we have the digital copy. I can just continue through the years going onwards from now on with this paper. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so you get 12 different patterns here to choose from. I've printed them out onto my A4 printer, so let's move over to what I've printed out and then I'll be giving you some hints and tips. So I have an A4 Epson Eco Tank. I've not listed it down below because it's not really available anymore. You might be able to find it in a few retailers, but really it's a few years old, and there are new models out, but I'm not going to list them down below. Do your own research. I pretty much recommend any Epson Eco Tank. If you go for more of the workforce, like office, I think they're called workforce or something like that, but if you go for the more officey type ones, it won't be able to print borderless. If you go for the photo printer ones, you will be able to print borderless. That is my only hint and tip for kind of what model to go for. Otherwise they all pretty work mostly the same with the liquid inks, so it's very economical. So you can get some of the lower end ones that are quite cheap at the moment. With the Black Friday sales on, you might be able to find yourself a bargain. But if you do go for some of the cheaper ones, you won't be able to print borderless. You will have a white border around there. I have one that my children now use for their homework. It's one of the very early Eco Tanks. It's still going. It's a fantastic little machine. It has the white border around, but really in the big scheme of things, it's not that much of a biggie. Okay, so this is the traditional Christmas 12x12, and I have printed these out at the full size, so it's the full print. So I will pop a box here and I will walk you through in what I've done. So I have chosen actual size. So what that's done is that it's printed out at the actual size that it's shown at with the 12x12s. Okay, so if I was to click the box that says fit, I would get something like this. And this is an 8x8 version of it. It's shrunk it down to fit it onto this A4 sheet, so you can then fiddle around with your sizes, so you can have a choice here of the 2 sizes. Now I'm going to briefly mention A3 printers because I know some of you have them. I have one. It's not an Eco Tank, so I don't use it anymore. Basically I'm only interested now in the Eco Tank inks because it's so much cheaper to just print as much as you want. Okay, so with an A3 it's slightly shy of that 12 inches, so I would recommend you do the fit, and that will shrink it down by about 1/4 of an inch, so it'll be very, very close to your 12x12, but it will be 11 3/4 inches all the way around, and that will be that for the A3. Okay, so let's have a look at the papers now. So here we have the deers with the holly here, with a lovely, like, very muted green background there. Now, all of these papers are designed to work well together with the colours and the colour scheme. Okay, here we have a beige background with the tealy, it's kind of like a teal green, but it's almost like a forest green as well. It's kind of that in-betweeny greeny colour. Okay, so we have a lovely selection there of the snowflakes. I'm going to pop them like that so we can have a nice spread of them. And then we have this beautiful plaid. I've got to have plaid. This has got a very nice bright green in there, but it doesn't kind of jump out at you either, and it mixes in perfectly with those papers. And then we have a beige script here, so we have a beige background and a grey writing with Christmas and festive sentiments on there. And then we have a more muted, darker plaid there with the reds and like the foresty green. And then we have these beautiful robins here with some white snowflakes on a beige sky background. And then we have some lovely trees here. We've got the sprig trees and the ordinary trees, and the stars as well on a red burgundy background. Then we have these beautiful poinsettia type flowers with like a it's not beige, it's more of a minty green beige background with white snowflakes. So we've got snowballs and snowflakes flowing there. There's a nice little mixture. And then we have some pine cones here with pine sprigs as well, branches. And then we have some music notes here with a beige background, and the music notes are burgundy red. So these are the same reds that are used throughout the paper pack. And I've already cut into these because I've already started making some projects for you guys, and I can't wait to show you what I've made. Okay, so we have here some green. It's the same pattern as this one here on the end there. This has the foresty green background with a creamy white beige sentiments, and we also have the opposite to this one here as well, with opposite colours with the poinsettia flowers. Now I think this is an absolutely beautiful paper pack. This can be used for card making, scrapbooking, mini albums, anything like that. And especially if you need to print out loads of different ones, or like 10 of these ones for your card making, if you're making loads of the same, it's going to be perfect. Okay, so that is the traditional Christmas. And now we have an exclusive paper pack that hasn't been seen before. This is the Festive Chocolate Boxes paper pack, and I've just printed this one out. You don't actually get this front page here, I don't think, but it's just as a visual for you guys to see. So I've printed that with the fit box checked, just to shrink it down and fit it to the page. Okay, so here it is. We have these lovely zigzags here in the festive colours. So we have bright reds in this one, green, so we have all the traditional colours in this paper pack. So we have the zigzags there, kind of like, it sort of reminds me of the candy canes. And then we have the beige with the red music notes. And then we have this lovely teal snowflake. So we have the sky as the darker teal and the lighter teal with the different snowflakes. And then we have this lovely mishmash of different types of trees. This one's a lot of fun. Love that one. We've got the reds, the greens, and the white background. We've even got in the snowflakes too. And then we have this lovely border strip page here with the Christmas tree, snowflakes, stars, and again all the lovely traditional colours. And this one I think is my favourite. I will pop a project up here using the flexible gift bag and this paper. I absolutely think that's wonderful. And we have here also this checkered one here. I'm not too sure what this pattern is called, but it has some distressed runners of paint, I would say, and we've used the same colours throughout as well, so that's a lot of fun. And then we have this one here, which is a lovely festive foliage seamless pattern here. So we have the holly berries, we have the pine cones, we have the fir branches, and we have snowflakes, and we have the teal background, so it all matches. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different designs. And again, if you want to print 10 of these ones, you can do. This is especially fabulous if you are making a mini album, because it means you don't have to save your favorite paper for the front page. How many of you have cut into your favorite paper by accident and you didn't have enough for your front cover because you've put it into your pages and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna have to choose a different one now, and then it's just not the same, is it? Okay, so with this one you can just choose your favorite one, and then you can even have your favorite ones going through the mini album as well. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you have any printer questions, if you have any printer paper questions, PDF questions, I will do my best to help you with those questions, because I know it's a little bit of a minefield with printers, and I do need to make another video. I've said this over the years, I need to make a video on how I actually print, so you can see my screen and exactly how I do it. So now I have my own digital papers, it's really important that I do make that video. Okay, now before I go, one last tip about printers. Remember, they're like your enemies. Keep them closer than your friends. Definitely get to know your printer, get to know its personality. They all have their own, believe you me, they do. Get to know them, see what they do. If you need to Google anything, Google them. YouTube's a very good resource for your printer model as well. Type it in. Just get to know your printer, how it prints, whether your paper goes in that way to get it printing out that way, or whether it goes in foot first, head first, whichever way first. Find out, work it out, get to know your printer, and believe you me, it will really pay off as you use it, and there'll be less wastage for definite. Okay, so I've listed everything down below. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and give me a thumbs up if you like this sort of thing, and I'll see you again next time.